Welcome dear students. Today I am going to begin with a new chapter from the unit Ecology, that is ecosystem. What is meant by ecosystem? Ecosystem is the functional unit of nature where living organisms interact among themselves and with its physical environment. Ecosystem, it is a functional unit of ecology, functional unit of nature where living organisms interact among themselves and with its physical environment. Examples for ecosystem: forest, pond, lake, grasslands, deserts, aquarium are the few examples of ecosystem. You know, for a biotic community, so we can give an example of a pond or a forest. What is meant by biotic community? Group of different species in a particular area at given time. So here also we can give the same example. Here also we will find the same examples like pond, forest, lakes, deserts. So here what is the difference in biotic community and ecosystem? So in biotic community, so we will consider only the different species which are found in a particular area. But whereas when we take an ecosystem, so we consider not only the living organisms present in that particular area as well as how they interact among different species as well as with the physical environment, that is abiotic components that are being existing there, like a temperature, how they interact with water, soil as well as light. So that is called as ecosystem. So in ecosystem, it is a functional unit. So where we can find the interaction among organisms and these organisms, how they interact with its physical, that is abiotic components. There are different types of ecosystem like terrestrial as well as aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem, the ecosystems that are found over land, they are called as terrestrial. Forest, grassland, desert are the examples for terrestrial. Aquatic ecosystem, the ecosystem that occurs in water, they are called as the aquatic ecosystem. The ponds, lakes are the examples. Even we can find the agricultural and crop plants, aquarium are also the examples for ecosystem. So when the ecosystems which are being created and maintained by the man, so they are called as artificial ecosystems. Aquarium is which is found in our home. Yes, so that aquarium also acts as ecosystem. So where we can find water is found, light we provide. So those are abiotic components. So we add some of the phytoplanktons, that is plants are there. Some small fishes we will put it there within the water. So it forms the biotic components. So aquarium can be also considered as an ecosystem, but it is an artificial ecosystem which is being created and maintained by the man. Agroecosystem, cropland, agricultural land is also an ecosystem which is being created by the man. On the road, there are small ditches, yes, rain-fed ponds we can call. It is a temporary ecosystems. So there are different types of ecosystem. The term ecosystem was coined by Arthur Tansley in the year 1935. Earlier, it was known as biocenosis by Carl Moebius. Earlier, it was known as biocenosis. So later, it is now known as ecosystem. So the term ecosystem was coined by Arthur Tansley. Ecosystem contains both biotic components and abiotic components. Ecosystem includes both biotic components as well as abiotic components. So, definition tells it's a functional unit of nature where living organism, biotic components means living organisms which interact among themselves and with its physical environment. Physical environment is nothing but abiotic components, non-living components. It includes, already you have studied, light, water, temperature and the soil. Now we are going to study about biotic components. Biotic components includes living organisms, are the living components of an ecosystem, that is living organisms. Biotic components are being categorized into three groups: producers, consumers and decomposers. Biotic components are being categorized into three groups. So now we will study one by one in detail. First, producers. Producers, also known as autotrophs. Auto means self, trophy means nourishment. Self nourishes, meaning, see here, producers are the group of living organisms which have a capacity to synthesize their own food, organic matter from inorganic raw materials. The organisms which can synthesize their own food, organic matter, so they are called as producers or also known as autotrophs. They are not dependent on other organisms. So they take in inorganic raw materials, inorganic substances as a raw materials and prepare the food, organic matter, by process of photosynthesis. These producers includes green plants, photosynthetic protist, photosynthetic protist, algae, as well as cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. These are the examples of autotrophs, producers. Producers includes plants. Protist, photosynthetic protist. Cyanobacteria, algae are the examples. Producers are also known as transducers. They are also called as transducers. Why are they called as transducers? Because producers, they convert one form of energy into another form. That is, solar energy is converted into chemical energy of the food, organic matter. So hence they are called as transducers. For photosynthesis, these organisms utilize solar energy. That solar energy is converted into chemical energy of the food or the organic matter. So hence they are called as transducers. The process of conversion of one form of energy into another form, that is called as transduction. So they are called as transducers. In terrestrial ecosystem, we can find the plants, green plants, trees, rooted plants. In aquatic ecosystem, phytoplanktons, microscopic, yes, microscopic plants, that is producers, they are called as phytoplanktons. And as well as we can find the other phytoplanktons. So producers play a major role. Producers play a major role, that is, they maintain carbon dioxide, oxygen balance within the ecosystem or the nature. The next group of organisms are the consumers. The organisms which obtain their food from outside, they are called as consumers. The organisms which get their food from other organisms, they are dependent on the others for the food, they are called as consumers. Consumers are also known as heterotrophs. Hetero means other and trophy means nourishment. So for their nourishment, they are dependent on the other organisms. And consumer includes the animals. Animals are heterotrophs. Consumers are further classified into different groups, categories. primary consumers or first order consumer. Animals which directly feed on producers, animals which directly feed on producers are called as primary consumers. So primary consumers are also known as herbivores. It includes herbivores. What are herbivores? The animals that feeds on plant materials. Producers, they are called as herbivores. So they directly feed on producers. That is primary consumers. Herbivores are known as key industry animals. It was called as key industry animals by Elton. Why? Because in industries we find the raw materials are used and final product is being produced. Okay, so here herbivores, they are involved in converting of plant matter, plant material into animal material or animal matter. So herbivores convert plant matter into animal matter. So they feed on plants, plant parts, but they provide the food to another animals in the form of flesh. Okay, so they convert plant material into animal matter. So hence Elton called the herbivores as key industry animals. Examples for herbivores: in case of aquatic ecosystem, tadpoles, some molluscans, crustaceans. Terrestrial ecosystem, we can find rabbits, goats, cattle, sheep, yes, bisons, deer are the examples. Another category, another group in the consumers, it is secondary consumers or second order consumers, or they are also known as primary carnivore or primary carnivore. The animals that directly feeds on primary consumers are called as primary carnivore, or they are called as secondary consumers. The animals that directly feeds on the herbivores, they are called as primary carnivore. Okay, so primary carnivore includes examples like frogs, yes, small fishes, water insects are the examples. So primary carnivores are those which feeds on the herbivores. The next category, tertiary consumers or third order consumer, or they are also known as secondary carnivore. The animals that feed on the primary carnivores, they are called as secondary carnivore. The animals that feed on primary carnivore are called as secondary carnivores. Example, large fishes, snakes are the examples. Another category, it is top carnivore. The animals that do not become prey for any other organisms or any other animals, they are called as top carnivore. They are found at the last trophic level within a food chain. So they are not eaten by any other organisms. So they are called as top carnivores. So example, tiger, lions, falcons. So they do not become prey for any other organisms. They are found at last trophic levels within a food chain. So consumer includes animals. The third group of biotic components, the third category, it is decomposers. Decomposers are those group of organisms which obtain their food from dead and decaying matter. So they are also dependent on others for their nourishment. So they are also a type of consumers, but consumers, they are dependent on live organisms for their nourishment. But whereas here the decomposers, they get their nourishment, they are also dependent, they obtain the fruit from outside, but it is from the dead and decaying matter. So the decomposers includes, examples for decomposers includes bacteria and fungi. It includes bacteria and fungi. Decomposers are also known as microconsumers or reducers or mineralizers. Why are decomposers called as the micro-consumers? They are also known as consumers, but they are called as micro-consumers. In consumers, we can find animals. Size is larger, but here bacteria and fungi, they are small microscopic organisms. So they are called, because of small size, they are called as micro-consumers. Reducers. See here, decomposers play an important role in the process of decomposition. Hence, to these group of organisms, it is called as decomposers. They convert organic matter into inorganic substances. Okay, so they convert the organic substance into inorganic raw material. So they are called as reducers. They remove the dead and decaying matter. Mineralizers. After the conversion of organic matter into inorganic raw materials. These inorganic raw materials are nothing but the minerals which is being added to the soil. How? It is by the help of bacteria and fungi. So they are also called as mineralizers. So decomposers includes microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. Apart from producers, consumers and decomposers, there is other group of organisms also, like detritivores are also known as saprotrophs. Sapro means rotten. Detritivores are also the group of organisms which get their nourishment from decaying matter. They get their nourishment from decaying matter. But what is the difference? Then why is separate group made as a decomposer and detritivore? Because both decomposer and detritivore get their nourishment from decaying matter. But in a detrivore, they do not undergo the process of decomposition. They only feed on organic matter present within the dead and decaying. Yes, but they are not involved in conversion of organic to inorganic decompositions. So decomposers are involved in decomposition but not the detrivore. Detrivore includes animals. But whereas decomposers, it includes microorganisms like vultures. Yes, carrion beetles, earthworms are examples for the saprotrophs, detrivores. So these are the biotic components of the ecosystem. So the next is about ecosystem structure. What are the features of ecosystem structure? Any ecosystem has different features of the ecosystem structure. So they are ecosystem structure includes species composition, stratification, trophic organization, standing crop and standing state. Each ecosystem is made up of a biotic component. It has its own living organisms, different types of species, biotic communities being found. If we take a forest, in forest we can find different types of plants like tall trees, yes, climbers, epiphytes are being found. So from one ecosystem to another ecosystem, species composition varies due to climatic features as well as topography. Maximum species composition is found where? In the tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest, it is an example for the terrestrial ecosystem. If it is an aquatic ecosystem, it is the coral reefs. In coral reefs and in tropical rainforest, we can find different types of the species, different types of living organisms, different species are found. And minimum, it is desert. Desert also has the different species, biotic community exists, but the vegetation is sparse. Here and there we can find the plants found growing. Stratification, vertical distribution of a species in different layers or strata is called as stratification. Vertical distribution of species in different layers or strata is called as stratification. Stratification is well developed in a tropical rainforest. It has 5 to 7 stratas we can find. Very tall trees, canopied trees, under canopied trees, short trees, medium-sized trees, herbs and the shrubs, like that. Okay, so stratification is arrangement of the species, organisms in different layers. We can find both in case of terrestrial as well as aquatic ecosystem. Trophic organization. In each ecosystem, we can find food chain and food web. What is food chain? Interlinking of organisms for its food and energy, by where all the organisms are being interlinked. What for? For food and energy, by the act of eating and being eaten. So we can find the organisms are interlinked. So these different species, they are found at different levels, and in these levels which takes part in unidirectional flow of energy, so those levels are called as trophic levels, and they are organized in a specific manner that is called as trophic organization. And the trophic levels are represented in capital letter T. And when we tell us first trophic level, we write it like this: trophic level 1, trophic level 2, 3, 4, 5. Maximum in any ecosystem we find up to 5 or 6 trophic levels. First trophic level is always occupied by the green plants, and the last trophic level, it is by the top carnivore. Coming to the standing crop. Standing crop is defined as the amount of living matter present in each trophic level of an ecosystem is called as the standing crop. The amount of living matter present within an ecosystem, in each trophic level of an ecosystem. What is that living matter? The number of organisms, biomass, living matter or biomass. Bio means living organism, mass means weight. See, this biomass is measured in terms of, it is measured in 2 ways: fresh weight as well as dry weight. But which is preferable, it is dry weight. Why? Because due to the variations in the seasons, the moisture content will be varying. So fresh weight might fluctuate, but the dry weight is the preferable, it remains constant. See here, then how to understand this, what is meant by biomass, living matter, the amount of organic matter present within the living organisms, that is called as standing crop. See here, our body, the living body of living organisms is made up of both organic as well as inorganic. So when we remove all the water content from the living organism, so the body is made up of only organic. When we remove water, inorganic, water is inorganic in nature. Okay, so when we remove all the water content, so the body is made up of organic matter. So that organic matter present within the living organisms, that we consider as biomass or living matter. Take some plant twigs. Okay, fresh plant twigs. It has water content. Keep it for drying. After few days, it will be completely dried. So earlier also it has organic matter. Now it also has, after drying, it has organic matter. So but earlier it has both organic as well as inorganic. There was water content. Okay, so actual weight when we will get, it is after removing the inorganic materials from the living organisms. So for another example, simple to understand about the standing crop, say take some cloths. We want to measure those cloths. Yes, if you want to get an exact weight of that 5 cloths, okay, so it should be completely dry. If we soak within the water, we will not get the exact weight of those 5 cloths, because weight will be increased due to the water content present with it. Are you understanding? So what is standing crop? The amount of living matter present within the ecosystem, or amount of biomass. What is biomass? The organic matter present within the living organisms. Standing state. The amount of inorganic substances present within the growth medium of an ecosystem is called as standing state. The amount of the inorganic substances present in the growth medium of an ecosystem is called as standing state. What is growth medium of an ecosystem? It is nothing but the soil. Where is inorganic substances? It is the minerals like nitrates, phosphates, potassium. We use them as fertilizers. So where do we add fertilizer? It is to the soil. So where are the plant roots present? It is in the soil. So standing state, it is related to the inorganic materials. Okay, where is these inorganic matter present? It is in the growth medium, that is soil. In standing crop, it is related to the biomass, organic content of living organisms in all trophic levels. Standing state, amount of inorganic substances present within the soil, growth medium. So each ecosystem has its own ecosystem structure like species composition, stratification, trophic organization, standing crop and standing state.